The woman's screams ceased, and the thoughts of the crowd came to an abrupt halt. The men who had been shouting and cursing just moments ago now fell silent. This was no longer just a matter of breaking the law. The strange figure before them was truly capable of killing. After a full minute of dead silence, the goat-headed man nodded slightly.
Good. 9 of you. It seems you've all quieted down.
The crowd's faces paled, but no one dared to speak. As he had said, there were indeed only 9 of them now. Keisha stretched out a trembling hand and removed a pinkish yellow object from his face. The shattered piece of brain, still warm, pulsed faintly for a few seconds before deflating like a balloon, lifeless.
Now, allow me to introduce myself,
the goat-headed man said, pointing a blood-stained finger at his mask.
I am the human goat, and you are the participants.
The crowd was stunned, then puzzled. Human goat. Participants.
I've gathered you here today to participate in a game with the ultimate goal of creating a god,
the goat-headed man said calmly. These 2 sentences caused everyone to furrow their brows. After these few minutes of interaction, the group had largely concluded that the man before them was a madman. Yet this madman claimed he wanted to create a god.
Create? What kind of god?
The burly young man asked nervously.
A god like Kanua,
the goat-headed man exclaimed, gesticulating wildly. His body emitted a pungent, gamey smell, and his voice carried a menacing edge.
How magnificent! You will join me in witnessing history, just as Nu created humanity and transformed into a rainbow while mending the heavens. We cannot lose Nua. Therefore, we must create a new Nua. There is a great task awaiting this god.
His voice grew increasingly fervent, as if he had been injected with adrenaline. Nua. The burly young man frowned, finding the whole idea difficult to accept. After a pause, he asked,
Are you some kind of religious group?
Religious.
The goat-headed man paused, then turned to the young man.
We are far grander than any religion. We have an entire world.
After hearing this, the crowd fell silent once more. The burly man's question was pointed. The goat-headed man's actions were undeniably reminiscent of a cult. Yet most cults tended to fabricate new deities rather than invoke heroic figures like Nua.
In that case,
the burly man continued,
what do you want us to participate in here?
I've already told you a game.
The goat-headed man replied without hesitation.
If you and one of you will become a god.
Damn it.
The tattooed man, who seemed to have regained his composure, cursed under his breath.
So it's like investiture of the gods, huh? What happens if we lose?
If you lose.
The goat-headed man glanced at the blood on his hands, his tone tinged with disappointment.
That would be a true pity. Now, please draw your cards,
the goat-headed man said, pulling a small stack of cards from his pocket. The cards were about the size of playing cards, with the words, Nua Game, printed on the back. The burly man was stunned.
What is this?
These are identity cards,
the goat-headed man said with a laugh.
If you draw the liar, you must lie.
The burly man gritted his teeth.
You're messing with us. Why didn't you mention this rule earlier?
This is to teach you a lesson,
the goat-headed man sneered.
I hadn't finished explaining the rules, yet you asked if you could discuss strategy. You wasted your precious minute, not me.
The burly man's expression darkened, but remembering the goat-headed man's murderous methods, he swallowed his anger. Within a minute, all 9 people had drawn a card from the goat-headed man, though none dared to flip theirs over. If the card read liar, it would become a question of their own. Survival versus the others. The 4 women's hands trembled slightly, and the men's faces were equally grim. What they were drawing wasn't just an identity. It was life or death. Shea took a deep breath, casually covering his card with his hand and bringing it closer to his eyes. He flipped it over gently. The words liar stared back at him.